One day it was there. Millions of people on it, laughing, arguing, building whole careers on top of it. And then nothing. No warning, no archive, no goodbye. Just a blank page where a world used to be. Here's what nobody asks. What actually disappears when a platform dies? Because it's not just a website. It's years of someone's work. It's the only copy of something that mattered. It's proof that a moment even happened. Gone. Deleted. Like it never existed. And the companies that did it? They don't apologize. They send a blog post. Look, I need you to understand something before we go further. We have been trained, all of us, to think of the internet as permanent. Like it's some great digital library of Alexandria that just keeps everything. Forever. It doesn't. Right now today, there are servers being shut off. There are databases being wiped. There are photos you uploaded in 2009 that no longer exist anywhere on Earth. And when those platforms went down, they didn't just take files with them. They took communities. They took identities. They took years of creative work that nobody ever thought to back up. Because why would you? The platform was supposed to be forever. That's the lie they sold us. And most of us bought it. Let's start with Vine. Because Vine is maybe the cleanest example of what I'm talking about. Vine launched in 2013 and it was okay. Look, it's easy to be dismissive about it now. 6-second videos. Sounds like a joke. But within about 2 years, Vine had become something genuinely strange and original. Comedians, musicians, filmmakers. People were doing things with 6 seconds that Hollywood couldn't do in 2 hours. There was a creativity on that platform that felt almost desperate. Like people knew the clock was running. Turns out it was. Twitter bought Vine before it even launched publicly. And then Twitter did what Twitter does. It neglected it. No real monetization for creators. No investment in the platform. Just sort of let it sit there, bleeding users to Instagram and YouTube until one day in October 2016 they announced it was shutting down. They gave people, I think it was about maybe a month, 6 weeks, to figure out what to do with everything they'd built. And here's what made it worse. When Vine died, the app itself became a dead-end viewer for a while. You could watch old Vines technically, until you couldn't, until that got shut off too. And now the only way to find those videos is through fan archives. Unofficial, incomplete, maintained by volunteers who cared enough to save what $1 billion company couldn't be bothered to preserve. The people who built careers on Vine had to start over. Some made it to YouTube, some didn't. And the art, those 6-second experiments that were genuinely unlike anything before them, most of it is just gone. But Vine isn't even the most brutal story here. Not by a long shot. Think about GeoCities. If you were online in the late 90s, you know what GeoCities was. It was the internet's first real neighborhood. People built their own pages. Terrible pages mostly. Tiled backgrounds. MIDI music that auto-played, animated GIFs of spinning globes. It was chaotic and ugly and completely alive. Yahoo bought GeoCities in 1999 for something like $3.5 billion. Let that number sit for a second. $3.5 billion for what was, at the time, one of the most visited sites on the internet, and then Yahoo didn't know what to do with it. Didn't invest in it. Watched it age while the rest of the web moved on. And in 2009, a decade after that massive acquisition, they just turned it off. Million user pages, gone, overnight. Now, and this is the part that should make you genuinely angry, a group of archivists called the Archive Team, completely unofficial, completely volunteer, managed to save about 650 gigabytes of GeoCities data before the shutdown. And that sounds like a lot until you find out the full site was estimated to be over 1 terabyte. So they saved maybe half, maybe less, half a web, half a decade of human expression, just missing. And look, it keeps going. Because this isn't ancient history. Flickr, which was the photo platform before Instagram existed, got sold to SmugMug in 2018. And SmugMug, trying to survive, announced it was limiting free accounts to 1,000 photos. Anyone with more than that had to pay or lose the excess. Millions of photos were deleted. Photos that families had stored there thinking it was safe. Photos from journalists, from artists, from people who'd been using the platform for 15 years because that's how long it had been around. Photo Bucket, you might remember this one. For years, PhotoBucket was where people hosted images that they then embedded across the entire web. Forum posts, blog comments, eBay listings. Then in 2017, with no real warning, they put those embedded images behind a paywall. Overnight, millions of images across the internet just became a broken placeholder. A little box with an X in it. Evidence that something used to exist there. Proof of nothing. The internet got holes in it, and most people never even noticed. Here's the thing that took me a while to really sit with, and I think this is the part most people miss. When we talk about platforms dying, we tend to frame it as a tech story. Business failure, bad acquisition, wrong strategy, and yeah, fine, that's part of it. But what's actually happening is something closer to cultural erasure. Think about what lives on these platforms. For a lot of people, especially people who came of age online, their creative identity, their friendships, their first real audience, it all existed on these platforms. And when the platform disappears, so does the record. So does the proof. There's a specific kind of grief in that. Not the grief of losing a person, but something quieter maybe. Stranger. You go to show someone something and it's not there. You try to remember exactly how something sounded or looked and you can't. And there's no recording because the recording was hosted on a server that doesn't exist anymore. And the companies, this is what gets me. The companies never really reckon with it. They write a Medium post. They give you a download window. Sometimes they don't even do that. They just turn the lights off. There's no accountability for it. No legal framework that says these platforms owe their users anything in terms of data preservation. You clicked agree on a terms of service document that probably included language like, "We reserve the right to discontinue the service at any time." You agreed to it. Case closed. What's darker still is that the platforms that survive, the ones still running right now, have the exact same terms. Every single one of them. Instagram could announce tomorrow that it's shutting down in 60 days and there would be nothing, legally, contractually nothing, you could do about it. Your photos, your videos, your decade of memories hosted on someone else's server? Gone. We've built our digital lives on rented land, and we keep acting surprised when the landlord changes the locks. So what do you do with that? I'm not going to sit here and tell you to delete everything and go live off the grid. That's not the point. The point is that we need to be honest about what these platforms actually are, and what they're not. They are not archives. They are not libraries. They are businesses. And businesses fail, get acquired, pivot, or just decide the maintenance cost isn't worth it. When that happens, whatever you stored there is collateral damage. Not maliciously, just indifferently, which is almost worse. The people who understood this early were archivists. The Internet Archive, the Wayback Machine, these volunteer groups who've been running around for decades trying to save things before they vanish. And they've done extraordinary work. But they can't catch everything. They're not supposed to have to. That was supposed to be the platform's job. There are things worth saving that you should save yourself. Not because the apocalypse is coming. Just because the archive of your own life shouldn't be entirely dependent on whether some tech company hits its quarterly revenue targets. Here's what I keep coming back to. Though the platforms that died and the ones we've been talking about, they weren't nothing. Vine wasn't nothing. GeoCities wasn't nothing. The people on those platforms were doing something real. Building something. Connecting with each other in ways that mattered to them. And the fact that most of it is gone now doesn't mean it didn't count. It just means we trusted the wrong people to take care of it. Maybe that's the real lesson. Not that the internet is dangerous or unreliable or whatever, but that the things worth remembering, the things worth keeping, deserve more than a server you don't control and a terms of service you never read. The digital graveyard keeps growing, and the only people who really seem to care about preserving it were the ones who were never in charge of it in the first place.